1997 would have been nominated in 98.
We have Titanic, As Good as It Gets, LA Confidential.
Testing.
Full Monty.
Testing.
Did Boogie Nights get a
Hello.
Best Picture nomination?
No, I think that got Best Screenplay.
Hello.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Hello.
Goodwill Hunting.
Yeah.
Hello. Testing.
That Ben Bale. We should start with the movie.
Ben's possibly bailing. The new director stepped out of negotiation. Matt Reeves, the guy from the new Planet of the Apes.
I think they should just can it all.
Well, the thing is, though, they interjected that movie between the Justice League movies because...
They're trying to be Marvel.
Well, his character, his portrayal was so popular.
Well, okay.
He'll be our assistant for the day. No, he's got it.
The movies
There were only 5 movies then, because, that's
Dude,
reasonable.
they cannot even fill out 10 movies right now.
They could have put Rogue One in there.
No, come on.
Couldn't they have?
A Star Wars movie getting nominated for an Oscar?
Yeah.
Come on.
It got nominated the year the original Star Wars came
That was
out.
the original Star Wars. It's like new for its day.
Just based off box office, they could have rounded it out with that.
I just want to make sure
Just saying.
The top films of the
Okay, so I'm
Top films
going
of
to
the
put my
year.
ring pop away for now.
The English Patient.
No. You need to go
Yeah,
nominated in
do you
98
wanna
because
do the
movies
intro?
released in.
This is episode 18 of Dream Warriors.
Yes, and I'm back.
This is Heather.
I'm the sister.
Well, this is Peter. We're with Heather. And we're with Sean.
I'm not the host. Yep, Sean is going to keep time, and
He's going to keep time.
he's going to be our
He's
movie
going,
analyst.
He's going to research and he's going to yell at us when we're
Stupid
incorrect.
thing. So today we're talking 20-something movies that are turning 20 in the year 2017, films that were released in 1997. It was an incredible year for movies. I spent a lot of time in the movie theater that year.
What was the, where did this come from? Because you shot me a text message out of nowhere.
Okay,
And you were
so
and I thought it was like a really good topic.
we have to, I blog for sojo1049.com, which is the radio station that I run. And
Can we plug Sean's?
yeah, well, Sean
station too?
is
We got two professionals here.
Sean is 103.7 WMGM Rocks out of the Jersey Shore.
That's me.
And yeah, so I was, at the beginning of the year, we always do our year ends. So we're talking, biggest bombs of the year, most overrated songs, most underrated songs, top selling artists, top selling tours. So I started thinking more about the world of like movies and television and series, TV series that were turning 20. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I remembered that Oscar race in 1998, the films nominated from 1997. Like I couldn't pick out my favorite movie.
Yeah.
Obviously Titanic, the front runner, but the pack of movies that were nominated for Best Picture that year are some of my favorite films ever released. So I thought...
Real quick too, Mark and I went through this in one of our 4-hour-long episodes. Because, we can't do an episode under 4 hours.
4 hours,
Yeah.
okay.
We can't do it. Mark and I cannot do an episode under 4 hours. We were going through the films that were nominated in the late 90s. And the late 90s, almost every single, probably from 95 to maybe 2001, every single nomination block is stacked.
I know.
And it really is kind of
It's so funny to me because...
a forgotten golden age.
Because
I feel like.
the films from 1998 that were nominated were going to be things like Jerry Maguire and The English Patient and Leaving Las Vegas. So some movies that were great too, but this 1997 just sticks out to me. But not only for that, but for movies that are highly underrated. We're going to talk about films like Vegas Vacation and Con Air and The Fifth Element and Breakdown with Kurt Russell, which is anytime that's on, I leave it on. And of course, a movie that's going to come to the big screen this year as a major moving picture, which is Beauty and the Beast.
Oh wait, I incorrected. That's a typo. It was supposed
Beauty
to
and the Beast is not supposed to be there?
It's supposed to be Beautician and the Beast.
Wait, is that Queen Latifah?
I'm pretty sure it is.
Beautician and the Beast.
Because you know what it is?
Okay, forget that.
When
You
I,
said that.
When I was going through the list, I blacked out and I got happy that we would be able to talk about Beauty and the Beast. And then like when I was like just going through the list a couple times,
Thought that was a little late because that's way past even Lion King.
Well, I freaked myself out and I kept looking for Beauty and the Beast. I'm like, why is Beauty and the Beast not on the list? It's essentially the list I was pulling off of Wikipedia, and then I realized I'm like, oh, holy crap, it's Beautician and the Beast.
Well, we're also going to talk about horrendous movies like Speed 2, Cruise Control, Anaconda. I mean,
actually,
G.I. Jane kind of lands somewhat on that list.
Yeah, we saw G.I. Jane, right?
Yeah.
That's one of the ones that stood out that you and I watched.
Yeah.
I always liked how that film looked.
And the movie that really kind of changed everything for me, which is Contact, based on the Carl Sagan novel.
That's still your favorite science fiction movie.
I think so. I think just based on the fact that it completely changed my frame of thinking in regards to, science as it relates to religion. We know at the end of the movie it's this big letdown. Like it's her dad the whole time talking to her, but like.
Well, no, it's
they
not her
used her dad to be able to relate to her and speak to her. It wasn't her dad.
Her vessel.
Sean.
It was like their vessel for.
It's one of the greatest South Park moments ever. I watch a whole goddamn movie and it was her dad.
Yeah.
Mr. Garrison.
But I guess because I'm such an existential thinker, it just tapped into something with me that I like it a lot.
But Contact also is a well-structured, it's just a well put-together movie.
Unlike...
It's got, like, peaks and valleys.
Yeah.
There's real... like, I always say the best movies are the movies...
And it's Robert Zemeckis. Right, exactly. But the special effects are, like, out of this world.
It's also got a underrated score. I think the music for that movie is top-notch.
Yeah, especially, like, at the very end when she's... Jodie Foster's sitting and she's with the satellite dishes and she's just sort of reflecting on the thing. Yeah. It's a very dreamy, very... childlike kind of.
They attribute the opening for that giant zoom when it goes from like the galaxy, the unproduced version of Dune, the Jodorowsky's Dune had that opening
where it kind of phases in from
you go from like
Earth,
nothing,
Earth to outer space where there's
his
nothing.
Went from like nothing, like beyond the galaxy, all the way to Arrakis, which is the Dune planet.
Right.
And you're supposed to go through like spaceships and pirate fights and all these other things. And because they took apart, someone like put this thing together and they took all the big special effects sequences that they figured out for that movie, and they traced where they ended up. Yeah, and it's kind of funny because everyone that was behind that unproduced version of Dune ended up making Alien.
Oh, right.
It's like the same production people.
Yeah.
And that's why Alien has like that look. That was like the look of Dune. They just kind of put a monster in it and, got that gorilla lady, Sigourney Weaver.
Well, we're going to talk about the 5 movies nominated for Best Picture, but just to give you an idea of some other movies that were released that year, we're talking Stern's Private Parts, Howard Stern's only major motion picture.
Well, we should also make a note that Private Parts is 2 great movies, 1 or 2 really good movies I feel like that came out that year that were
directed by women.
Directed by females. Yeah. And I just feel like in today's current environment, you always have to say that. You have to say when females did something.
But I mean,
I'm being
give
very
us credit where credit is due. I mean, come on.
But so it's Private Parts and
then the Peacemaker,
which was DreamWorks. DreamWorks' first movie with George Clooney and Nicole Kidman. And that was I still like that movie. But we saw that in the theater too, right?
Yeah, we've got Grosse Point Blank. We have Romeo and Michelle's High School Reunion, which has become like a cult classic.
You like that movie? I never watched it because it was like a girl movie, and then I watched it as an adult and was like, "Oh, this movie's so stupid and funny."
It's so bad.
It's Revenge of the Nerds for airheads.
Mira Sorvino's claim to fame. She goes to her high school reunion and to try to be popular among her student body, she claims that her father invented. She's the heir to Post-it notes, or she invented Post-it notes.
Oh,
Right.
yes.
I mean,
yeah,
is that-
she invested.
That's like right up there with Gretchen Wiener's. Like, my father invented toaster strudel.
Yeah. So, real quick, did you want to kind of like do a speed round and try and get through this giant list?
Okay, well, let's talk.
And do
no.
You don't want?
Let's talk
Oh,
really
you wanna
quick
do the
about the
Oscars.
movies that were nominated for
Okay,
Best Picture
right.
that year.
So we know who wins. You want?
Right. I think
Titanic.
Titanic.
Yeah, I say
Titanic.
Titanic because that's how like teenage girls like used to say it. It's Titanic.
Titanic. Well, it's it's really Leonardo DiCaprio's not his best role by any means, but really his breakout role,
like
the one
Jack.
that pushes
He's
him.
good in Jack.
You know, he's in
so good.
Baz Luhrmann's Romeo and Juliet just before
Yes.
that with Claire Danes. So he
And
starts to
the
become
Basketball Diaries
that
before
heartthrob,
that.
but Titanic just pushes him into like utter
I'm
stratosphere.
I'm still waiting for him to measure up to his role in Critters 3. I do not.
He was in Critters.
Yeah.
He doesn't remember that, and neither do I, for good reason.
I'm waiting. I'm still waiting for him to eclipse that huge performance. Yeah, Oscar or no Oscar, you haven't topped your Critters 3 performance.
I think post Terminator 2 is when we start to get wind that James Cameron has, a script ready, and he's actually in the deep sea, in the North Atlantic, searching for the carcass of the Titanic
Yes.
in preparation for this movie. And actors like Gwyneth Paltrow are attached to, these main roles and stuff before they finally land on Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet. But I think we were seeing previews.
So-
Look at those cheeks. And Leo, too. I mean, oh, Lord. Critters 3? I didn't even know they made a Critters 2.
I just showed Heather one of the production
That's
photos
not the one
of
with,
Leo.
I'm thinking of Tremors with Kevin Bacon.
No, this is
I don't even know what Critters is then.
They're like these little hairy guys. But
I remember the original movie. I didn't know they made it to a trilogy.
If Norm was here, he would be able to tell us everything about
Okay.
the entire, not just Critters the movie, but every single thing ever made of the Critters.
Okay, great. Great.
Yeah, look, here's a cute one. Look, the little critters eating little Leo's
my
hand.
gosh. Can we screenshot that and send that to Social Spring from the Mike Show immediately?
Yeah, we
Because she
can.
will literally die.
I will send this.
Okay, so
Yeah,
we're
so
seeing
sorry, no.
we're seeing teasers and trailers. There was no YouTube then, so what you got in the theater was what you got trailer wise.
Well,
what did you think? There wasn't like this giant hype machine. We just knew that he was working on it. When you saw the first preview, the trailer for Titanic, what did you think?
Yeah, well, here's I gotta say that what the hype machine was, like, I thought we were connected to it because we subscribed to Premiere Magazine.
Well,
we
Entertainment
subscribed to
Weekly.
Entertainment Weekly.
Sure, like we knew it was
I
coming.
would go to the bookstore and buy Variety.
But we're not normal.
Right.
We're
But,
talking about
yeah.
so when you finally got that trailer, knowing all the hype, what did you think? Did you know that it
Yeah,
was going
it
to be
was-
one of the biggest movies ever made?
Well, you don't know. And you don't even know now. You don't know what movies are really going to pop.
But just that shot of the hull
Yeah.
coming up,
Well,
and you get the perspective of them looking down as the ship
Yeah.
is sinking. It's crazy.
And it's also the Titanic movie. They don't compare it to a disaster movie, which is weird. But it's kind of like in the vein of Armageddon and Independence Day.
In that nearly no one lives.
And there was, so to me, it was like just another disaster movie that Hollywood was like trending around.
Maybe they don't consider it a disaster movie because it is based on true events.
Yeah, wait a minute. Well, I thought Armageddon was a real thing. You're telling me Harry Stanton did not live?
There are astronauts. There are
It is confirmed that there's meteors. and
astronomical
asteroids, too.
engineers, and
It
there
is
are
confirmed
meteors, but
that
no one
there's
in that movie
spaceships.
were real people.
I really thought that was like anyway. No, sorry, no, but no, it's like there was a hype and excitement for Titanic. I remember going to the theater. They had Titanic popcorn buckets.
Yes, everything.
That was like the hall.
Yeah.
It was just just
It's
said
the upside-
Titanic.
Yep.
Yeah.
RMS Titanic across the back of the
and
popcorn
then the
bucket.
popcorn was supposed to be like a round steel plate filled with delicious popcorn. That was like the whole idea.
Did you come to see it with us when we had to sit in the front row?
No.
I saw that movie 3 times in the movie theater. And I remember this, it was either the first or the second time I saw it. I was in the front row and I felt like I was getting seasick. It's the water swishing back and forth.
That's how I saw it, front row.
Yeah.
I only saw it once in the theater, and I think about an hour or so into it, I'm like, will this boat sink already?
Well,
Such a migraine.
Here's the
I
thing.
know it's going down.
so they have to build the characters and the storyline, but then James Cameron chooses to film this and sink the ship in real time.
Yes.
So the last hour and 17 minutes of the movie, the ship is sinking as it happened on the night of April 14th, 1912.
And like he did a smart thing. He put Jack all the way in the bottom of the ship, chained him up.
They had to find a way to drag out getting him.
Well, the whole thing was that like he would have to go through the levels of the ship sinking, and you got to see what was happening on every single level
From the inside.
and how the ship was breaking down. And that was like the whole lead-in. Like that's the whole the entire movie led in from him like being handcuffed and leaving.
Mm-hmm.
And they I don't know. I mean, that's a tough movie to watch now though. Like I don't think it's a great movie. I don't know if it holds up like other movies that like even are like on that. I think LA Confidential.
I know. I agree with you 100%.
Holds up so much better.
So amazing. That ensemble cast in LA Confidential is. I mean, I think it was my favorite movie that year. Titanic obviously was going to be the front runner and it was going to win. And everybody says, it was Kate Winslet's coming out party. I think it's as much Leonardo DiCaprio's movie as it was her, even though she got more. She was the one who got nominated for Best Actress. He wasn't nominated for anything more than just the Golden Globe. But the ensemble cast of LA Confidential, which Curtis Hanson directed, is the first time on.
It's such a complete movie.
It's only the second movie outside of Terminal Velocity, I think, with Denzel Washington, that we see Russell Crowe on film here in the United States. He was a big star in Australia.
Terminal Velocity.
He's a
great 90s movie.
Yeah, he's the villain in that movie.
Yeah. But and that was while everything in Hollywood was virtual reality for like a couple years. Yeah, because that was the future.
Well, and that was the technology. At the time, people were playing around with that.
This
Lawnmower Man.
Like there was like a big run. But no. But real quick too. I also think like As Good as It Gets.
Oh, I mean, Good Times, Noodle Salad. That's my bumper sticker printed up.
Shampoo My Crotch still gets laughs today.
So crazy someplace else.
Yeah.
We're all stocked up here.
And I think Titanic is, it's not, people call it an epic movie, and I think it's
I think it's epic because the event itself was epic. I mean, still to this day, 100 years later, the event itself is epic.
That movie isn't about the boat anymore.
Right.
It's about Leo and Kate, or Jack and Rose.
Jack and Rose,
It became a love story, not about the disaster.
And I think it's really, really about Billy Zane. It's really,
Calvin Hockley.
It's really about him. But no,
and the fact that we all think the old lady was stupid at the end for throwing the $5 million Hope Diamond into the water.
Yeah,
she was going to die anyway. Why not keep it?
And then I think the other two nominations, great movies, but kind of we had Billy Elliot and what one?
No. We had Full Monty.
Oh, Full Monty.
I'm sorry, that movie is awesome. Robert something. He plays Rumpelstiltskin on Once Upon a Time right now. He's the star of the movie. Can you look his name up, please? He's amazing.
Real quick, to fact check you. That's the name of the movie you were talking about. Denzel Washington and Russell Crowe.
No, wait. No, Virtuosity.
I'm
sorry.
Yeah.
Terminal Velocity is Charlie Sheen.
Charlie Sheen.
Okay. No, Virtuosity. Sorry. I stand corrected.
Yeah. Actually, and real quick though.
And Good Will Hunting.
I think we were wrong with the nominations because I'm looking at them now. We had Titanic, Amistad, The Boxer, Good Will Hunting, LA Confidential.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah. So really.
Wait, say this again? No.
Titanic, Amistad, The Boxer, Good Will Hunting, LA Confidential.
No way, dude. Full Monty was nominated that year, no?
Full Monty.
What are you showing, Sean?
Am I looking?
I have Best Picture for 1998 for 97 movies. We got Titanic, Full Monty,
Good Will Hunting, LA Confidential,
As Good as It Gets.
Yeah.
What list am I looking at?
Yeah.
I think maybe this brought me to the Golden Globes then.
The Full Monty, which was like
I'm not sure.
I think like
that
an
might be the
independent
only one
movie.
I've never seen. I never
It's
seen the full Monty.
Never seen
so
it
Yeah.
underrated, and it is just. I hate to say this because it's British and I sound so cliche. It's just a jolly good movie.
Yeah, but-
it's like you've got these factory workers out of work and they have to find a way to not only make money, but like win back the love and like confidence of their wives.
That was kind of like the start of a weird trend in Hollywood, where every single year you had to have like one Oscar like movie
that was like an independent film.
that was like an independent British comedy. With
Kind
like,
of.
like, and it kind of started with Four Weddings and a Funeral.
Yeah.
And then it was like the Full Monty. Then it was like Billy Elliot. Then it was
like did you say 4 Weddings and a Funeral?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, like for like 5 or 6 years, it was just like the thing to do.
Notting Hill.
Like you had, and then at the end, Love Actually doesn't even get nominated or
I hate that
wins.
movie.
I love Love Actually.
Oh my gosh.
Actually.
I think it's like over my head.
Oh, that's so.
Okay.
Yeah, but anyway.
So we're going back to LA Confidential,
Yeah,
which
let's-
we have Kevin Spacey. We've got James Cromwell.
And this was always
Kim-
one of your favorite movies.
Kim
so-
Basinger. I think it is just
Like,
it's
you
just
were
so
always
so
into it.
layered because it keeps you guessing till like the very end. The minute that Kevin Spacey on his deathbed, he gets shot by somebody he thinks is his like trusted colleague, Rollo Tomasi. If I ever have a dog, I'm naming him Rollo Tomasi, and that's how he knows in that moment.
Yeah.
He knows he's Danny DeVito plays kind of. He was like the original like paparazzi, and back in the day, and Simon Baker's in it. Kim Basinger. It's just I don't even know. Like if you've never seen it, the story is so layered about old Hollywood and how corrupt the Los Angeles Police Department was, and the government and the politicians.
Yeah. Real quick though, because LA Confidential, in my view, is a totally forgotten movie.
I know.
The movie that has resonated, that is like almost like the brother of that movie, is Chinatown. With Jack Nicholson,
yeah.
directed by Roman
Just
Polanski.
sitting on our DVR because Sean's never seen it.
Which is like lauded as like this, but if someone hasn't seen Chinatown and if they haven't seen LA Confidential, I will tell them to see LA Confidential because it's
so good.
It's more of a arc. It's more of a movie. Period. Chinatown is awesome, but it's not like I just think LA Confidential were like, well, let's just make a Chinatown movie and make it better.
But it's like LA Confidential has this, investigation, this like good intrigue between Hollywood and the corrupt police department. But you're seeing these characters like Russell Crowe's character, he's spent his life growing up watching his dad beat up on his mom, and then he gets into this relationship where he tries to open up, and he winds up becoming the exact same thing. And then you have Guy Pearce, whose father was like police commissioner, so he's chasing.
Guy Pearce
So he's chasing. He's Edmund Exley, and he's like chasing, trying to be as good as his father, and is the goody two shoes of the police department that everybody picks on, but he winds up solving this case. And
I just feel
so
like they took the stereotypes in that movie and just put them into NYPD Blue and made a modern day New York cop police show out of it.
Yeah.
And just because like Dennis Franz is no different than Russell Crowe.
Right.
They're the same exact person.
Yeah. That
Which
kind
is
of like
funny, but-
very broody, like
Yeah, so
but smart.
We're real quick though. I wanted to address this because I know she's your girl. 97 was the year of Jennifer Lopez.
Selena Stocky and Selena.
Yeah,
Stocky.
and Anaconda. 2 giant big blockbuster
I'm sorry. If
movies that made a lot of money.
Anaconda is on, just based on Jon Voight's horrible accent, he tries to put on this Louisiana kind of like Creole swag kind of thing, and how bad that Anaconda is. It's so animatronic. It looks like something that would come out of the water if you were in Disney World.
Yes.
It's so terrible.
But it was also like an early CGI movie. It was a movie that tried to merge CGI and animatronic. Owen Wilson.
Owen Wilson's in it.
Ice Cube
gets swallowed.
Swallowed. Well,
Yeah.
Isn't John Voight at the end get swallowed? You can see
No,
him.
you
Yeah,
can
you
see
see
him
him in there. Like,
so,
you
but
see like.
Eric Stoltz gets his throat like totally
I
closed up.
I
in
forget
the beginning
Eric
of the movie.
Stoltz is in that.
Oh my god, I'm sorry, I'm a
Eric
sucker
Stoltz.
for that movie.
What is he still? Is he still with us?
Yeah, he's alive. Dead alive? Alive.
Alive.
I
He's
don't know.
alive.
Well, good for him.
but he's not
Like,
he's not
he's
pulling like
sticking
a
with it.
James Spader or Jason Patrick. He's just I don't know what he's doing.
No, James
with his life.
Spader just, I think he got lucky. He got lucky with the Blacklist. He got lucky with popping up in Age of Ultron.
No, hold on.
Like,
We
you
know
know?
what movie brought him back. Stargate.
Yeah, but
He went
away,
disappeared for
though,
like
and he
10
got
years, and then
huge.
Stargate came out, and then
I
all of a
think-
sudden he got his role on Boston Legal and The
Yeah.
Practice, and then
It's almost like, to me, he disappeared and got stung by a lot of bees.
I don't
And, and like swelled up.
like who swallowed James Spader. This
Yeah, and then all of
character,
a sudden he's just like,
but this character, he was born
Robert
to play
California.
Raymond
The
Reddington,
Office.
though.
Yeah.
He's
yeah.
so good. Oh, and I forgot he was on The Office. Okay,
dude,
anyway, I
that's
digress.
one of my favorite seasons of The Office. is
Eric Stoltz, 56 and alive.
Okay, so he's alive.
Good for him.
Going back to Jennifer Lopez, though, like,
Good.
let's have a hoorah for Eric. Eric Stoltz is still
Yeah.
alive.
And he's still working.
Okay,
So Madam Secretary.
I don't watch that show
Oh,
with the Man Stealer.
I thought that was done.
Yeah, me too. With the Man
Who
Stealer.
watches that show?
No one.
Who watches it? Do you guys
Anybody-
even watch?
I
Like,
don't-
do you guys sit down and watch the show, or is it all DVR?
No,
Pretty much
no.
DVR.
Like tonight,
It's all-
Homeland is on and Billions comes back, so we'll watch both of those live.
Because there's no
Homeland-
commercials, so it doesn't matter.
Homeland lost me after season 3. I couldn't watch it after.
After that's when
And that's
Damian
when we-
Lewis left,
Yeah.
but it's gotten so good since then.
I couldn't. Yeah, it's just. But they had like a 3-year arc, and I was so happy with like just
Yeah.
like it, the other one, the Ray Donovan was a lot like that.
Oh my God.
Like
Still obsessed.
Ray Donovan had like a 3-year arc, and I'm like yeah, and then the next like season 4, the daughters are on the beach with the guitar, and I'm like 10 minutes into the episode, it's like
like, oh, wow.
I think we're done here.
Oh,
Like,
it's so good.
this is yeah. But anyway, so
Anyway, back to
Yeah.
Jennifer Lopez. Like, I think
Yeah.
like no one does she not get this role, which is but for the fact like Selena Quintanilla Perez is like assassinated by a crazed fan at the age of 23 years old, but for the fact that Jennifer Lopez gets this role and, you know, becomes a singer and a dancer on screen. She doesn't have the career that she has today because I think it was so much easier to take her seriously
Yeah.
when she released music and started touring and
Well-
doing things like that. Had she not, I don't think that she would have had the success had we not already sort of seen her on the big screen acting as a singer and a dancer.
Yeah.
So she truly owes her career to this role.
you know what's kind of funny?
And I cry every time it's on. It makes me so
like
sad.
no one kind of talks about. I always felt like there was a bias around her at this time, and it's kind of weird and shitty that no one addresses it. That like it was so easy for Will Smith to do the same thing. They kind of come from obscurity.
But I think
You
is
kinda
it
got a couple
because he
albums,
became
and then you
an
jump
actor
into
after?
acting,
Yeah.
and then you jump into film,
Yeah.
and everyone's fine with it. And then all of a sudden it becomes like a different monumental task when Jennifer Lopez does it.
So is it harder to go from? I think it's
Like,
easier
you know,
to go
like-
from music to film because you're somebody who's making music videos,
I
and so
think-
you're acting in a way than it is to go from being an actor to be taken seriously as a musician.
I just think what she did was so much more difficult than like Will Smith's.
Yeah, I agree.
Like run.
Uh-huh.
Because she kind of did come out of nowhere, and she was in the movie that no one really cared about. Like no one cared about Selena. That movie came out, it was a good movie. Like
I
you know?
thought she was Selena. Yeah. I thought at the end of the movie Jennifer Lopez died.
Yeah, that's probably.
And then she was making music.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah, a lot.
I'm sure. Yeah, Fly Girl died.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So.
Oh, that's not really even fair though, because she was a fly girl before she was an actress, so she
Yeah.
was a dancer.
Well, she was, yeah, but she was almost like background.
I know.
And Will Smith was like, I get it. He did like 6 Degrees of Separation.
That was his
And
first.
That was like.
But he was on TV forever
Yes.
between the videos and then
Independence Day.
and then Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah.
He's on every
Yeah,
week.
yeah,
So
Yes, yeah, and that's what I mean.
All
but,
over
But he
MTV.
gets lauded as this like transitional like.
He's the original triple
superstar,
threat that
and
can
then-
sing,
yeah,
dance,
then,
and
like,
act.
but Lopez kind of.
yeah, but just remember, Will Smith has way more personality than Jennifer Lopez.
Oh my God.
She has her
I think
butt.
that's a throwdown.
She has her
Her butt.
butt.
That's the personality.
She's so underrated. I could do a whole other podcast on this.
What's that?
Sing
what's
a
that,
little bit.
What's that movie?
What about Blood and Wine with
where
Jack
she
Nicholson?
trains- That's good. Where's the one where she trains and fights
Oh, enough.
Enough. Oh my
Yeah.
god, that movie's horrible.
Enough.
Where she's laying on the ground, she just has to sense he's about to kick her face in.
Yeah.
That
Enough.
movie's so bad.
I remember
Enough.
seeing her in U-Turn.
Oh my god!
U-Turn is
in
on this list, but yeah, Sean Penn directed by
And, Oliver Stone, yeah.
Weird movie.
Yeah.
Saw it in a movie theater.
She's great in that.
Yeah, I got U-Turn made my list of actually like there was just a run. There's a run of like forgotten movies.
Oh my
by
god!
directors.
Can I please kiss the girls?
Kiss the Girls. That did not. I didn't add that to my list because I didn't know
Devil's Advocate.
Devil's Advocate. Too.
Oh,
Yeah,
bah.
but I'm even talking like if you talk Life Less Ordinary,
Rainmaker.
Midnight
And Garden of Good and Evil.
Father's Day, Jackie Brown.
I'm sorry. I even
Facts.
like Anastasia, which was the animated movie with the voice of John Cusack and Meg Ryan as Anastasia.
Well,
Love that movie.
The other animated movie that was big that came out that year was Disney's Hercules.
Yeah.
And I viewed it like that as a disaster that kind of fully derailed the Disney cell animation. Like they closed departments and really went into like a dark period because Hercules
After
wasn't
Hercules?
successful.
Oh.
And it's kind of funny, but Anastasia, which was Don Bluth, the guy that did Secret of NIMH. Okay, he made the better movie that year,
I agree.
and which is kind of funny. But Anastasia has solid music,
Love it. It's so good.
awesome design work,
Yeah.
great like even like special effects, like pre CGI special effects, solid. But real quickly, we also had Money Talks that came out. That
I don't remember that.
Chris Tucker,
Tucker and Charlie
Charlie
Sheen.
Sheen, directed by Brett Ratner.
That's right.
Who's
Yeah.
the girl in it? Heather Locklear?
Yes,
I think she's in it. I saw that in a movie theater.
Oh, look, your favorite movie,
One of
Sean.
There's a
7 years in a movie theater.
Went and saw that in Deptford at 11:10.
Oh my god.
Starship Troopers,
Troopers.
otherwise known as spider crickets in our house.
Yes.
Have you ever seen one? Have you ever seen a spider
Spider
cricket?
Cricket's not going to make it in Philly up here.
Okay,
Like,
listen. So
Dallas would eat it,
I
though.
believe that no, he'd be scared of it and he would run away.
No, he would.
This thing,
he
imagine
stays.
Starship Trooper,
I
one of
know.
the things,
I'm not going to imagine that.
as a bug,
I'm not.
as a bug,
She saves them.
and I have to trap them because he's
Exactly.
afraid of
What
them.
happens?
They jump and they fly.
Oh, I'm not afraid of
Yeah,
them.
you are.
I just kill it.
He kills it.
I
What do
would,
you
but
do
she
with
won't
that?
let
Afraid
me.
of it.
I
I
kill
put
it.
I put a solo cup over top of it. I take a Bed Bath and Beyond circular, stick it under there, and I throw it outside.
Is there a? Do they have like a hive mentality? Can you just kill the mother and kill it forever?
It might be in our crawl space.
But I won't go down there.
Why? Why do you?
I.
Won't go into the crawl
You
space.
guys saved the
That's a
world.
whole nother.
Yeah,
that's a whole nother podcast.
I think after this we're gonna have a therapy session.
There's two movies I saw in here.
Okay.
Austin Powers.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
I saw that in a movie theater, and I didn't know what I was getting into, and I thought it was brilliant. And the first movie kind of came and went,
Yeah.
and then it was the
Fembots.
second one that
Again.
really blew
Yeah,
up.
it was. That's a little bit of a trend where the licensors and merchandisers create the second movie, and
And
we
it kind of
saw
got
that.
the cult.
Yeah, we saw
following.
it with like Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen. We saw it with Iron Man 2.
Yeah.
Like it, Batman Returns. So much more of a different merchandise
Yeah.
push than Batman.
And then
Ugh, Batman and Robin gets released that year.
Yeah.
I thought I saw that movie poster around here somewhere.
Yeah. Well, look,
Why? On purpose?
it's actually one of the worst years for comic book movies, 97, which is Steel, Spawn, and Batman and Robin. Which is a tough. But then
Power
again,
Rangers movie.
But then again, too, studios didn't know how to handle comic book
Yeah.
properties. The re-releases. You want to talk about them real quick?
Yeah, real quick, I have a question though.
Yeah.
George of the Jungle was Brendan Fraser, right?
Yes.
Wasn't Jungle to Jungle Brendan Fraser too?
No, that was
That's Tim Allen.
Right.
Yeah.
Dueling jungle
Okay,
movies.
all right, dueling jungle.
Both fish out of the water jungle movies.
And the other one I was talking, Chasing Amy.
Yes.
Oh, you like that, and I don't like
That's
that movie.
where I discovered Jason Lee.
yeah.
And the greatest, Kevin Smith's, one of the greatest scenes in his movie is when she kisses the girl at the concert and Ben Affleck thinks he's coming to her.
Yes.
And Jason Lee's just... It's the greatest scene. I love that movie.
That's been criticized. A lot of people are saying that movie does not hold up. That is the best movie he'll ever make.
I don't know. For
Like,
me, I don't know if it's the best, but I love that movie.
Yeah, I
love
don't
that
know.
movie.
Like, I think a lot of his other stuff is just like weird and experimental and not serious.
Mm-hmm.
But Chasing Amy was really he sat down to write a message and to get something across and had good people in it. And you know, again too, that was part of a trend where obscure movies had a chance to win the Oscar, and Chasing Amy was all about that, kind of like Pulp Fiction type trend. Like the more obscure, the better.
All right, let's get into some of the.
Because do you remember seeing the Star Wars movies in '97? We went to all 3 of those, right?
With Bob Patrick.
Oh yes, with Bob Patrick.
Yeah. Shout out to Bob Patrick.
Yeah. So the other note though is no one talks about Little Mermaid being re-released that year.
Do we have to?
Well, I'm just saying, like, it's always like it was kind of like a part of, like, I guess Disney tried to hijack a little bit of the trend that they saw in Star Wars. And
I've never seen that.
Little
Mermaid.
I never even, and that's the second Little Mermaid reference of the day for us.
Some chick at the bar last night that's a theater girl, and she kept insisting on singing Little Mermaid songs. And I'm just like,
I'm out of here.
I am LD 5000.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I was very anti-Ariel because up to that point, there were only 3 acceptable princesses in my eyes, which were the original 3.
Yeah,
and that is Sleeping Beauty, Cinderella, and Snow White.
Do you think?
And then you throw in this one with fins, and she swims, and then Belle comes, and then Tiana comes, and then you have like freaking Rapunzel from Tangled and muddying up my princess's waters.
Do you feel that they've diluted what a Disney princess is now? Like that they've added like Princess Leia. Now a Disney princess.
She's not animated. Like, I don't consider her.
Rey, the girl from the new Star Wars girl, is a Disney princess.
No,
princess now?
No, she's not. She's not. We don't know that she's.
To be. They're gonna put her.
She's gonna
in that gift box.
I know, of course, but like, there's a difference between
a
princess and an action figure. A princess is animated and has a crown and a kingdom. Like
would you put Pocahontas as?
Isn't she considered a princess?
Yes.
Yeah, but I don't consider her a princess.
Consider her the princess.
So is that one from Brave? What's her name?
Oh yeah, I don't know that.
She's the one with the long hair.
Meredith or whatever. Yeah, she has the long hair. Anyway, the re-releases of Star Wars were so fun to me because we were very, very little. You weren't even born yet when I got to see the original Star Wars. You were very, very young for Empire, and I think you probably remember seeing Return of the Jedi as one of like your first ever movies, but I remember seeing them all. But to get to go back to see them again,
and there was
and the sound effects, things were updated a little bit.
No one gives
it was
credit
very exciting.
That there was a legitimate excitement for the new material.
That was no.
Yeah.
No.
I remember being crazy
Sometimes
excited
they put those
for
on
new like Death Star shots and new shots of the X-Wings.
No, so where we were watching Return of the Jedi and TNT had put that re-release version where like the cantina has all these extra people playing guitars
but
and
that's where it went too far. Where I think the extra stuff works in Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back.
You need to see Jabba the Hutt walking with Han Solo in the original.
Well, like you knew, like they shot that scene to be in the movie. That was like an original shot scene, and they added, they added Jabba the Hutt in it. I don't know, like whatever. I think it works, and it doesn't take away from the movie.
I remember it being the first time I had ever heard anyone applaud at a movie.
Yeah, when Boba Fett walked on screen.
Anyone, like when just the opening credits come on and like everyone in the theater is
cheering every time they saw Boba Fett
dressed
in
up,
Star Wars Special Edition.
People coming in costume, like that was something I had only seen at like Rocky Horror Picture Show at midnight, like on a Saturday at the Harlem Theater.
I think and I will say that the special editions work until you hit Return of the Jedi and you get that song.
Yeah,
they take out the Ewok Chub Chub song.
I didn't like the extra. What's that sandpit monster?
Yeah,
they had extra like tongues and tentacles, and I'm like, yeah.
Like one tongue, two tongues. Boba Fett still dies. Like they don't take away.
Fett.
Yeah, and we should talk about this because I didn't realize this until I went through the list. This might be the greatest year of science fiction movies in Hollywood history.
All right, let me say.
Did you want to go through that list real quick? Because there's one movie on here that gets ripped apart.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you which one it is.
It's actually a solid movie.
And I know what you're going to say. You think Event Horizon's a great movie?
Oh yeah, I'm going to say The Postman with Kevin Costner.
Oh, okay. Well, that's really good. I have no problem with any movie on this list except Event Horizon. If you can explain to me what I watched, and I understand a lot about space, tell me what I watched.
Because they're tracking down the ship, and the ship disappears, so they send out like a new crew. So that's like Alien, like all these other movies. The ship goes to hell and comes back, and the ship is possessed. So what? So when they find the Event Horizon, they find like a haunted house.
Correct.
Okay.
I don't like that
Yeah.
because I would have rather have just been a space movie about what Event Horizon is and not have this supernatural, like, ghost thing going on with it. And so I think they lost me halfway through the movie.
And it's gory, and some of it's like Hellraiser looking. I think it has one of the best set pieces ever. Like some of the set pieces in Event Horizon are just crazy.
I mean,
they're just epic shots, you know?
It's a very well filmed. Yes, I would agree. But the story, I guess it just went over my head.
And okay, so we have Postman. I might be the only one here.
It's a long movie, but I do like it.
That's Kevin Costner?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was a science fiction movie.
He thought it was about a guy that literally delivered mail and had a hard time doing
it.
it.
You might be thinking of El Postino, which was nominated.
Nope, he's thinking of The Postman.
Okay.
I just didn't know what it was about. I never saw it.
It's essentially like everything in society gets flipped upside down.
Oh, okay.
And the one consistent aspect is the postman. Like he's
still
like
out
the
there
membrane
delivering mail
that is like maintaining this way of life.
No idea.
through wind, rain, snow, apocalypse, and zombies.
The mail never stops.
Fifth Element.
Great movie.
Watch it.
Should totally be in a class of its own, if you ask me.
Which is I'm really excited for the new one. I guess the City of a Thousand Planets.
I don't know. Is that Bruce Willis again?
No, this is
He died in Armageddon.
The real life saga.
Yes. Sacrificed
We
himself.
we still weren't.
He sacrificed himself so Ben Affleck could get some tail.
Who do you think stole the movie in The Fifth Element? Who was the best
Chris
part of that
Tucker.
movie? Absolutely.
Yeah. It's such a like
110%.
it's hard to watch that movie and then see him normal, like doing stand up, and you're just like you're not Ruby.
You're
not like
better
what is this?
drag queen than RuPaul.
He was just even that like Fifth Element. I love the creature design, the look, like the weapons, and
Yep. It was a little bit of Star Wars meets Indiana Jones.
Yeah,
and definitely.
It also came out at a time where you never knew you were going to get another Star Wars movie. Like you had no clue another Star Wars was ever coming.
It definitely
and just, like,
fulfilled all that.
Yeah, filled that void.
It's still just the way it's shot is still one of my favorite movies. I think it's so colorful and.
I remember, like you and I saw that, right? That was Fifth Element. Might have been the first movie like I saw. I just kept going to the theater to watch.
Yeah.
I saw that movie like 5 or 6 times.
It's still great. I'll watch it anytime it comes on TV. But
now I'm above it.
You're above it now. Okay, well, I'm Starship Troopers gets my guilty pleasure award from 1997.
Starship Troopers has survived and is now people understand. I think that no one understood that movie. They didn't understand it was a satire. No one understood that it was like actually a statement against violence. Like there's so many deep undertones and.
Can't have a movie with Denise Richards and like Casper Van Dien and think it's serious.
Yeah, but he was actually. Someone just told me that Casper Van Dien was supposed to. He was in a movie that they shot. I forget, and he was so bad in the movie
that they recast him.
No, they just cut him out of the movie.
Oh, shoot.
And I forget what it was. But it was like a big movie.
Oh, we'll have to look it up.
I forget. Like he dropped out. They got Casper Van Dien. And it's like the director like refused to let anyone see the footage.
Oh my gosh!
Like it's the funniest thing, but
poor guy.
But Starship Troopers, it really is.
It's just a fun movie.
It's a high mark, and I really do feel like because they have like a 9 and 2 on their like
cast,
like that's a part of the joke. It's a part of this like
Dina Meyer
abstraction. And then we have Mimic,
which I actually really liked.
Really good
with Mira Sorvino.
Gattaca.
Which is where
great science fiction.
Uma Thurman and Ethan Hawke meet, and it's just.
Oh, did they get married or something? Oh, I see. I don't know anything about that.
And then but that's isn't it? It's just a very like.
They're just
pop crush.
Right.
Yeah, but it's just a very like clean.
Wait, what did Ethan Hawke have for breakfast today? Do you know?
He seems like one of those chia bowl kind of people to me.
He seems like organic. He's probably one of the people that prop.
He had a smoothie bowl for sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Contact we've already talked about in great length, and then Men in Black.
But how's that not a
Give
solid?
me some sugar water.
That's such a solid, versatile list of real science fiction, fantasy science fiction, comedy science fiction, horror science fiction.
Yeah, there's a little something of everything.
Like it, and I really I will crunch the numbers. I will put this into my data center. I will discover if this is the greatest run of science fiction movies ever. I will crunch these numbers.
But you know what else got released that year too, which I still die and get so scared over, is I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yeah, so that's kind of on my list for dueling movies.
Scream 2.
Because Scream 2 came out
Yep.
that
Scream
year.
2 is scary.
And here's the funny thing. Scream 2 is the best sequel that came out in 1997.
Well, agreed.
Okay, because like, do you want to go through the bad sequels real quick?
Okay.
Or what a lot of people, and you know what? I'm sorry, I left Alien Resurrection off of the science
I
fiction list.
freaking love Vegas Vacation. Love it.
I was so Joey
love,
Popovich.
love. Isn't Ethan Emery?
Yeah.
He's rusty.
But-
I'm sorry. I love that
Yeah,
movie.
I mean, some of these can go either way, but relatively, like, we're just going to say, like, universally, a lot of these movies are just people. It's either
Horrible.
forgetful or people.
Horrible.
Bash. Okay, so we have Speed 2, Alien Resurrection, Vegas Vacation, Home Alone 3, Tomorrow Never Dies, American Werewolf in Paris, Mortal
Wait,
Kombat,
is there more?
Annihilation. I put Hercules on the list just because it's part of a series
Remake,
with
yeah.
these. Okay, and then we have Free Willy 3.
Number one, didn't even know they made a Home Alone 3.
Yeah.
No idea it even
quick
existed.
side note: did you know that they made an Ace Ventura Jr. movie?
No.
There's a third Ace Ventura.
Did it go straight to
where
video?
It's his son, and it's this little fat kid dressed up like Jim Carrey, acting like Ace
Acting
Ventura.
like him? No.
Yeah, it's
No.
the funniest thing. Yeah, okay, yeah, and then the two best sequels that came out that year is Scream
Yep.
2 and
Yep.
Fierce Creatures, which is The Fish Called Wanda.
No, I didn't even know
Sequel.
that.
Yeah.
Is Jamie Lee Curtis in that?
Yeah,
Like, they all are? Robin
Kevin
Williams
Kline.
and Kevin
yeah.
Kline?
Yeah, Kevin Kline had two great comedies. Kevin Kline.
In and Out.
In and Out.
Love.
Fierce Creatures.
Yeah. In and Out's one of my favorites.
Yeah, and it's just funny that there was really bad comic book movies, horrible sequels in '97.
Did you mention Lost World?
Oh no,
Jurassic
Lost World
Park.
is there.
That's Yeah.
That's the best.
That's
worst
Vince
sequel.
Vaughn and Julianne
A lot
Moore.
of people
I'm sorry. I love that
people
movie.
back that movie now, but
I loved it. I did.
having,
you know what?
Having a baby dinosaur crying in New York or in San Francisco, like crying for its mommy.
I might be the only
Like-
person in this world, but the original Jurassic Park
Does
I
nothing
thought
for
was
him.
overrated. I think I saw
No,
it way too.
There's
Much after the hype.
You know what it is? There was a I think there's like some of the undertones in that movie, like stick with people. But if you take out the undertones and you just like pound for pound roll through that movie, there's really nothing that kind of happens in the movie. There's like nothing that happens. It's like random dinosaur attack here,
Yeah.
and then random dinosaur fight at the end. And they kind of like there's very little bridge in that movie other than I don't know. I guess Sam Neill discovering he likes children or does not
Yes.
like children and still wants to be a dick to children. Like, and no wonder why that the chick doesn't end up with him. But in like, right, she gets married to someone else in Jurassic Park 3. Like Sam
Yeah.
Neill, like you
Yeah,
thought the
yeah.
two of them were going to end up together,
Yeah.
and she's even like, "Yo, man, like you are way too hung up on this dinosaur crap." Like, like. But one of my favorite, you know, like the one fan theory, right, that I love, the fat kid. This is second fat kid reference today. The fat kid in Jurassic Park is the grown-up kid, the Navy SEAL guy in Lost World. Yeah, what's his name? Chris Pratt. The fat
Oh, you
kid,
mean in Jurassic World?
Yeah,
World, okay.
yeah. He grows up to
They're
become.
saying it is.
He grows up.
That
to
would
become
be
Chris
funny.
Pratt. And that's how Chris Pratt's good with the Raptors because
Oh
St.
my
Neil
gosh.
gives him the Raptor speech in the beginning of the movie.
Love, love, love.
It's just funny, but no. We can go through dueling movies. Not that big of a deal. There was and you know what? I think this was a little bit of the economy being doing really well. That there was a like experimentation in Hollywood, like experimentation and competition that kind of came
yeah.
up through Hollywood.
Yep,
Because you really, some of these dueling movies are essentially the same movie.
All right, well let's go through them and we'll pick
Yeah,
what we think is the better
Volcano,
movie of the two.
Dante's Peak.
I'm going with Dante's Peak. With that
yeah.
was Pierce Brosnan,
Pierce,
Volcano was
yes.
Anne Heche and Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah, and where in Volcano they are outrunning lava.
Yeah, Dante's Peak definitely better.
They're outrunning
Definitely.
lava, like slowly rolling down the
I know,
street,
right.
and they're like,
It's like the
almost,
Blob.
It's almost like in Austin Powers when he's got the the street paver.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Going
yeah,
down, it's like,
yeah.
run! Murder at 1600,
Which
Absolute
is
Power.
Wesley Snipes and Diane Lane are Murder at 1600, and Absolute Power is Clint Eastwood.
Yeah.
So I can't help but go with that one.
Absolute Power.
Yeah.
I saw that by
Absolute.
mistake.
They're both really great movies,
yeah.
though. And I'm a
TBS one,
sucker
though.
for anything that involves like the White House and presidents. And
Yeah.
Whatever.
Now the next one are just cartoon adaptations.
Of Mr. Magoo and George of the Jungle.
Yeah.
Who was in Mr. Magoo?
Leslie Nielsen.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going George of the Jungle because
Same
I think
here.
that's kind of like just a fun. And I love anything with Brendan Fraser.
I'll see what's on the other stations. I'm not watching either
All
one.
right. We've got
Sean's making the right choice.
Hoodlum, which was very similar to
Yeah.
LA Confidential, but we know which one I'm going with.
Too, also with a good cast. Lawrence Fishburne, Tim Roth. Okay, we have Grosse Point Blank and 8 Heads in the Duffel
This
Bag.
is even for me because
Yeah.
I
like
love
Grosse
Grosse
Point,
Point Blank. It's such dark humor, but 8 Heads in a Duffel Bag. I mean, I don't know, Joe Pesci just runs everything that he's in, and this is one of those weird movies.
The next one we have in Jungle to Jungle and George of the Jungle. George of the Jungle made the list twice.
I've never seen Jungle to Jungle, obviously, because I didn't know who was in it,
Chrissy
so I'll have to
Alley
come back
came
to.
out. Okay. We saw Conspiracy Theory in the
Oh
theater.
my gosh.
That was, I remember
loved
really
loved
liking
it. That was like my height of like I'm all about Mel Gibson and what the hell was I thinking? But he's batshit crazy in that movie.
But does like any of that really matter?
You know what? I know he made, to me, the best movie of the year.
He loves Hacksaw.
This
Yeah,
year.
but Hacksaw, I
Yeah.
haven't seen that yet.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I loved Conspiracy Theory. I love it to this day.
And Shadow the Conspiracy is with Charlie Sheen. Who's now a giant conspiracy.
Did you
theorist.
realize
I know,
type
so
those
crazy.
side by side?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Out to Sea and Gone Fishing. I'm going with Gone Fishing for sure.
Okay. Money Talks, Nothing to Lose, another.
I think I'm going Nothing to Lose.
Oh, that's a funny movie. That is a funny movie.
And
Dana Carvey.
No, Nothing to Lose is Martin Lawrence.
and,
Tim Robbins.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's right.
He
Tim
thinks he
Robbins.
rolls up and sees his wife cheating on him, and
Yes.
then they're gonna hijack the business. That movie is so funny.
That is, yeah.
I'm going to say between TV shows that came to the big screen, Leave It to Beaver, McHale's Navy, neither.
McHale's Navy's not terrible. That's with Tom Arnold. Tom Arnold's in that.
Sports Center's on.
Yeah.
Neither.
I'm surprised you still watch SportsCenter.
Me?
Anybody?
Oh yeah, I like the SC6 that they're doing now.
It's did you know
They
they're losing,
reformatted
like,
it.
10,000 subscribers a week? ESPN.
They're losing 10,000 subscribers?
Yeah, they're hemorrhaging subscribers.
Oh crap! Well, they better get something.
Yeah,
well, that
like,
could be the reason why
like,
they reformatted
SportsCenter.
SportsCenter.
I made a joke the other day with one of my friends. I said they're going to have to kick the 30 for 30, and pretty soon it's going to be 5 for 5.
5 for 5.
Like
I like those specials.
there's
though.
an XFL 30 for 30 that I have.
We watched
so
it.
good.
We watched
I have
it.
to watch
No,
it.
it was
I
really
still haven't
good.
seen the last 10 minutes because
Okay.
there was like a game that evidently went over, and when I DVR'd it,
Remember when
I
you
lost
were remember when you were cooking at Denny's and we used to go over to Tenalley and watch the games?
there's a couple that you didn't mention on here.
Wait, we
Okay.
have one more dueling movie.
Okay,
Can we get
go
to
ahead,
that?
go ahead.
I Know What You Did Last Summer versus Scream 2. I'm still going I Know What You Did Last Summer
I like
because it
both of them.
scares the crap out of me to this day.
I love the Scream trilogy. Kyle Leary, the Revelation Kyle Leary,
Yeah,
Scream 2.
there's just
Like,
that
sign me
episode
up.
at the end where you know that what's her face from Roseanne? What's her name in real life?
Yeah.
That
Which is
she's
still
Mrs.
out of
Loomis.
place. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
still a little out of place. But
And is that when Dewey gets trapped in that box and he gets shot like 6 times and he lives?
I think so. Yeah, but it's still not as out of place as Jane Silent Bob popping up in Scream 3. Like, that's
You know what?
like there's
If
an
they
explanation
pop
out there
up
for
in
that.
Schindler's List, I'll be like,
I just kind of
Sorry.
And real quick, did you want to just go through the franchise starters? Because we had
oh,
like
where's that?
feature
Where are they?
movies. Yeah, that's page 5 right here. Austin Powers, Men in Black, Air Bud, Anaconda Man.
Gotcha.
All had tons of sequels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I
And-
think just for which one, all 3 that were completely solid movies and could stand on their own, I'm going with Austin Powers.
I love Austin Powers. I love all 3 Austin Powers. I don't care that they recycled the
Love
same
them all.
jokes.
No, I don't. I
Both
don't
are-
even care.
I think that was the point, though.
Yeah, I was-
That was the point.
Yeah, but see, right, but it got criticized for it.
I don't care.
People
Then
were
it
like-
went over their heads.
Yeah,
then.
Right,
but
totally.
Here's the funniest thing. I was watching the second one, like not too long ago. I had no idea I was watching the second one.
Oh, you were like halfway through, and you're like,
I'm like, oh, this is like, and then I'm watching it, and then I'm like,
they're so fun.
Is Fat Bastard in the first one?
No,
Like,
he's not. He's not in. He's
because
in.
I was just like going with
Spy
it.
Who
Like I
Shagged
didn't even
Me.
care.
Yeah.
You know, and it's almost like that's the idea.
Fat
Like,
Bastard showed up in Goldmember, right?
he
He wasn't in the
Yeah.
other ones. He was Goldmember.
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was the third one.
It was the third one.
Yeah, it was the third
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
Yep.
Get in my belly. The baby.
The baby.
Yeah, I'm sorry. And you were, and we're kind of done.
Yeah, I just want to give like just
What
some
would you wanna-
a couple
yeah.
shout outs. First of all, best soundtrack that year definitely goes to Boogie Nights.
Yes.
100%. Best like singular
Movie still holds up. To it.
on-screen monologue. The final scene of The Devil's Advocate, where Al
Okay.
Pacino goes off
Yes.
as the devil.
Was
I
it-
want to say like tie for feel good movie of the year, Soul Food. I love that movie with Vanessa Williams.
Oh yeah, and real quick too. Like,
Right, that and Booty Call.
Also on my list. Yeah, so like Soul Food and Booty Call were two, like almost like movies. That,
Jamie Foxx.
Yeah, that took
Yeah.
something from the culture.
Yep.
A phrase from the culture that was in the lexicon, and they made a movie out of it.
Yeah, Booty Call
Which
came
is
out of that.
Very common. Like they still do it today, but Booty Call and Soul Food are like people still make those references
For sure.
today.
I want to
Yeah.
say, so tie for that feel good movie is for sure Soul Food, and Inventing the Abbots is just such a beautifully
Yes.
shot movie with Joaquin Phoenix
Young
and
Hollywood.
Jennifer Connelly and you know
Was that,
Liv Tyler has an amazing
Did Ron
small
Howard
role.
direct that?
We'll have to look it up. It's I don't know. It's a
I thought
very
so-
beautiful
I
movie.
I thought someone knew directed that.
Worst accents goes to Con Air.
But such a good movie.
Such a good
It's so
movie.
great, though.
You
Put
Put
can't.
the baby down. But
Was
yeah,
that
but
Michael
The
Bay?
bunny.
put the bunny down.
Was that Michael Bay?
No, it's
Dean.
I think it's Simon West or Simon Weiss.
All right, we have to look.
Yeah. Inventing the Abbots was directed by Pat O'Connor. I'm not
Okay,
even
I
sure
don't know who that
Pat
is.
Okay.
Is Pat a female?
Shout out to Pat.
Should Pat have been on our female list?
I don't know. Well,
Pat
you'll have to just
doesn't have
get
much
to
of
the
a
bottom of that.
filmography, FYI.
Face Off.
Yes.
Face Off,
I
John
can't believe
Woo.
that you hadn't mentioned.
Sorry.
Yeah, Face
Forgot
Off.
about Face Off.
is on. Yeah.
Oh
so,
my gosh.
So Nicolas Cage, 2 killer movies.
Yeah, huge. Made lots
In
of.
nine-
Yeah,
97.
huge movies.
But
I gotta say though, Face Off is so underrated. Not only because John Woo, but the fact that we come into the movie, Sean Archer, played by John Travolta, is an FBI agent who is chasing down a drug runner and
Good
just
luck
overall
explaining
bad
this.
guy.
Yeah, it's one of the most
Nicolas
unrealistic
Cage.
movies ever, but it's still so
Nicolas
good.
Cage plays the bad guy, Castor Troy, who John Travolta thinks is ultimately responsible for his son's death.
yes.
Somewhere in the face of all this, they switch roles. And John Travolta becomes an equally good Sean Archer and Castor Troy as Nicolas Cage
Yes.
becomes believable as Sean Archer and Castor Troy.
Yeah.
It's such a fun movie to watch them make that transition and then switch back in the end. It's just a fun, wild ride.
Yeah.
And you gotta love a Mexican standoff. You can't hate on a Mexican
You can't
standoff.
say that. That's racist.
Can I?
Can you say
What is it?
South American? I'm just messing
No,
with you.
Latin. A Latin standoff.
I'm just messing. Say Mexican all you want.
People
Whatever.
pointing guns at each other. I love it.
That's a signature John Woo
Yeah.
move. That was
Yeah.
like, we had
The
flying doves.
they walk
in that.
into the flying doves
We
like in the
had-
chapel.
Yeah.
I just die for that movie.
Another unrealistic movie, but a good one. Air Force One.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
He'd
Get
get
off
blown.
my-
He'd get blown off that plane standing there.
So real quick, of the president attack movies, which one would you rather watch? Hold up. White House Down.
Never saw it.
Oh, with Jamie Foxx
And Gerard Butler.
No, that's Olympus Has Fallen.
Oh crap.
There's White House Down, Olympus Has Fallen, and Air Force One.
Okay.
If you had to kill, murder,
Well, wait.
I'm trying to put.
Who was the president in all the movies? Oh, come on.
I think Morgan Freeman was the president in Olympus Has Fallen.
Okay, so
Jamie Foxx was the president in White House Down, and Harrison Ford was the president. And,
Jamie Foxx was the president.
yeah.
All right, so
And he shoots a bazooka.
ready? I'm gonna marry Morgan Freeman.
Okay.
Headed to the bedroom with Jamie Foxx, and I'm killing Harrison Ford.
Gonna kill Harrison.
Yeah, because he just
Poor
seems like a
Harrison.
downer. Seems like a drag.
Give him a few more months. He's gonna crash one of his planes anyway.
All right, I just want to end this with the most underrated performances in any movie that year.
I do have a way of ending this.
Good Burger.
Go
Yes.
to
Good Burger's a little bit underrated, though.
go to Sylvester Stallone, Harvey Keitel, and the entire cast of Copland.
Oh.
That movie
Yes.
is a wild ride. You've never seen it. So good.
I've never seen it. Liar, Liar. I know it's
I
not.
love Liar.
Oh, yeah,
love
yeah.
that movie.
I'm kicking my own
And you-
ass.
Wait, is that the claw?
Red, blue, red.
Overactor?
Oh, yeah. Has
Overactor?
Carrie Ewells is in it. It just,
Elway.
is it Elway or whatever his name
Is that the claw?
Yeah, the claw.
Claw. And Overactor.
Yeah. Yeah, he beats himself up in
Swizzy Kurtz.
the the outtakes. Yeah,
Yeah.
Overactor. He couldn't say anything. He just walks away.
Okay.
In the outtakes. And the only other thing, there was one
Yeah.
other movie here I wanted to mention. Now I lost it.
Let's see.
You mentioned it briefly because it was one of the Oscar-nominated movies. Good Will Hunting.
Yes.
To me,
Oh, we didn't even talk about
I
that.
take that over just a little bit over L.A. Confidential as the best
Yeah.
movie that year, and to me, it's the best performance Robin Williams ever did.
Yeah.
For me,
Yeah, I mean, Williams has a long run of really good dramas.
Yeah.
That people
Totally forget about.
Like, completely
Yeah.
forget.
and also
Yeah.
don't forget that he made Flubber this year as well.
Flubber's solid. I'm just, I don't know. I just wanted, like, action figures of the little jiggly Flubber guys, and they never came out with those.
Well, they
They
did.
just
They
seem
were
like-
those things that you slung against the
I
wall
don't
and
understand
like crawled
why
down.
doesn't Jello buy that license and do Jello Flubber guys that you can just eat? Like, it's so obvious.
do. It's called Jell-O.
Like, come on. Real quick, did you want to skim this list real quick and try and pick out Dallas's favorite movie? Dallas's all-time favorite movie is on this list.
I think it is.
Here,
I think he likes
I can give
Out to
my
Sea.
list. No, it's not Out to Sea. Dallas hates water.
To see.
It's not just on this page; it's out of all.
Yeah. it's gonna
Oh,
be-
you know what? I think he likes Bean.
Bean.
Yeah, I think he likes Bean.
I'm going to give you guys a couple.
Give me that.
That's your
Taking my ring pop
That's
away.
your ring pop. One more
dun,
before the
Oh,
sign.
he's a sucker for my best friend's wedding.
He actually has no best friend.
Oh,
See?
Mouse Hunt.
Yes, Mouse
Mouse Hunt is his
Mouse
favorite.
Hunt.
Mouse Hunt.
I had just gotten there.
Dallas.
Oh my God! There's another movie
Another DreamWorks movie too.
for richer or poorer.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
I
That's
saw
in
that
that?
in a movie theater. Tim Allen.
Yeah,
and
Tim-
Christy Alley, I think.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
I saw that in a movie theater.
That's not terrible. Yeah, Mouse Hunt.
Is Double Team? Is that
Yeah, John Claude Van Damme.
yes.
Is that Dennis Rodman?
Dennis
Oh
Rodman,
my
John
God.
Paul Van Damme. And you know what? The plot for that movie is so weird, where he's like a retired assassin, but he's living on a assassin community, like a retirement community.
Okay.
It's the weirdest plot for.
I'm just
All right,
so
one last
weird.
question for both of you.
just the Jackal.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't mention that. I'm just seeing
Bruce
this list
Willis.
now.
Bruce-
There's a,
good
we can do
Bruce
another
Willis.
we can do another
You could.
run on this,
Just-
but I kind of like us. I think we should go by
Donnie Brasco.
yeah.
So good.
But, like, we should almost go by year and do 98 next and do
Oh my
99.
gosh. If you guys could pick any of these movies, any of the ones that we talked about, nominated or not, to watch on replay for 1 week and nothing else, what movie off of this list would you pick?
Well, I'm guilty because I currently have Starship Troopers on replay.
Okay.
I keep putting that movie on. I don't care. I think if there's one that maybe I haven't seen that I could, like probably LA Confidential, just from talking about it.
Well, just one movie that I could leave on for a whole week straight, I would put Austin Powers on because it just never gets old.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
not necessarily my favorite, but conspiracy theory. I always saw something new every time I watched it.
Yeah, really good.
And
Yeah.
did
He's
you ever
on
see
it.
the outtake
No.
where Danny Glover pulls up in the right next to the car?
No.
No way.
Yeah, it's an outtake.
That
and
would be funny.
It's when they're in the car together.
Yeah.
And Danny Glover just pulls up and he looks over at Mel Gibson. And they just lose.
That's awesome.
That's funny.
Yeah, Conspiracy Theory is like a very meta movie. Like, it's a movie that is like the movie itself is a conspiracy theory. There's like elements in the movie to, like, you can get your own conspiracy theories out of it.
Who was the guy hunting him down? I forget who it was.
I don't
Pull it
remember.
up here.
Was it Malcolm McDowell? Was it? No.
I want to say Patrick.
No, Ed
Stewart.
Harris. Ed Harris
Oh, Patrick Stewart.
or Patrick? It's some bald guy.
Patrick's Professor Xavier. All right, I think that's it. Are we going
Yeah.
to sign off? We did like a solid hour.
All right, cool.
Anything you want to say?
Nope, I'm going back to my ring pop.
Anything Sean wants? Sean?
This is fun.
Yeah. Sean's going to come back and get drunk. We normally drink alcohol. I just drank a
All
lot
right.
last night.
Well,
and-
it's it's like daytime. We started out the
Yeah,
day drinking with breakfast. So
I can't wait to come back here and do like the horror and metal
Yes.
one.
Yeah, I would
and
love
she
to
has
do
to sit next to us.
Yeah.
Hell
You're gonna
to
have
the no.
Sit through the metal.
You have to sit.
It's
I'm gonna go over there and listen
It's going to be so metal.
to my headphones.
All right, let's just say goodbye. Sign off.
Ciao.
Goodbye. Goodbye.